Hey everybody, welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today I'm going to show my FN SCAR 16S in multicam with what I put on it and the changes I made to it. So this one is going to be primarily iron sights. So I'm going to leave the really nice iron sights that this comes with on there. I do have a scope. I do have a March. I did a review on this scope. It's a March 1 to 10X. With the EOTech quick release mount. I like this quick release mount because you can adjust the tension so it's on there tight, so it'll hold zero better as I swap it out from rifle to rifle. But for the most part, it's going to be iron sights, and these are just, they're super nice sights on this gun. I'm going to just leave them. What I did do in the front, as you can see here, I did change out that front post with a hooded crosshair. So it's a crosshair front. I like that better at, if you're going out beyond 100 and you want to have something a little more accurate, I put that on the front. Not so hard, just unscrew it and screw the new one in after depressing that plunger that holds the post in. So I did that, and like I said, it's going to stay mostly the without the scope, but here with the scope, like I said, it's a nice quick release. I did do a review on this. I always kind of mark where I put this so I keep it in the same spot every time, and it's a lot easier to snap off and on that way. But I always pull back on it to make sure it's locked in the back of the Picatinny rail and then snap it shut. So that would be if I wanted to put the 1 to 10 scope on. And this is a March scope. I love March scopes. All Japanese with Japanese glass, and Japanese glass is the best in the industry. I don't care who thinks what or what thinks who, but Japanese glass is in most scopes, whether the manufacturer tells you or not. Most of the glass comes from Japan. Anyway, all that aside, March scopes, really nice. I did a review on the scope a while ago. I did a review on this mount a while ago, so check that out. But 1 to 10. So again, this is it's a 5.56. I'm not going to be shooting out to 1,000 yards with it. So it's nice to have the scope there if I wanted to have it on. But mostly it's going to be run flat top like this with the iron sights. Okay, and what I did here in the front is I put this on. So this is the new clutch mount for the new 3D printed SLX or SLH version of the Sig Sauer 7.62 suppressor. So this is their new version of this mount. So what you do is you put this thing on here first. It's a 3-piece design. Put this on with some of the rock set. Their rock set is always dried out, so I have to get my own rock set. I need to email them and say, look guys, you got to figure out a better way of sending the rock set, because the rock set just dries out in the little dispenser. It's not airtight for some reason, and they're always dried out. Anyway, tighten this down tight. Then you put your crush washer here. You can see that crush washer in between. There's a crush washer in between these two pieces, and then you screw this piece on. Now if you're using a flash hider, it's all one piece, and you would just screw it on and leave it. There's no timing. With this, you have to time these to be horizontal. So you just screw this on and crush the washer until it's lined up, and then you're done. That's it. So, and realistically, you don't even need to put this whole front half on. You could leave that whole front half off if you wanted to. Just mount the back piece, because this is the bearing surface, and this is the sealing surface here, this angled piece. This is the bearing surface and where the clutch mount locks to. And then you got your threads way back here. So your threads, clutch mount locking surface, and then your seal is this angled piece here. You can see the angle of it right there. So that's what locks it on and keeps the gases forward. So realistically, you wouldn't even have to have anything on. You could just have this adapter on and be done with it. I like a little muzzle brake, so I put the muzzle brake version on. But this is the 5.56 version that fits on the 7.62 suppressor. That suppressor I won't get till August. So it's been up there going on 8 months already, and I've got another 2 to 3 months before I can go pick it up. All right, so moving back, let's go to this side here. So what I did on this side is I mounted these Parker Mountain Machine products. So this is the Parker Mountain Machine front quick release, mounts right into the steel plate up front, which is where you would mount your snap latches to anyway, if you were going to put a sling on this. But this gives you a 360-degree rotating quick detach there, a 360-degree quick rotating detach here on this side, again mounted into the steel plate, which is what I like about Parker Mountain Machine. They do a great job. Very smartly designed products. So with this pulling, it's going to pull right on this metal piece and on this metal piece up here. So it's going to pull right on the parts that I want it to pull on. You know, I don't really want to put a quick release. I mean, if I had to, I could take up rail space here to put one. But why not use the actual part of the gun that's designed to mount a sling to? So quick mount sling there, quick mount sling here. And what I did too here is I put an extra one back here. Now look at how nice that blends in with the FDE. I mean, that's pretty cool how that blends in so nice. And this is a Parker Mountain Machine as well. And it has 4 bolts, you know, 2 on each side. And on this side too, so you can get it a double. So you could put a quick release on this side, quick release on this side if you wanted to. I think it's an extra $10 to do it, which is not bad. I'm right-handed shooter. I'm always a right-handed shooter. I put them on this side here. I skip this side. I don't need a quick release on this side for anything really. But they make them for both sides, and they make them for both sides here as well. You know, like this one here, they make one for this metal piece up here. So, and the same, you know, they make one for, instead of here, you can put it, so left-handed and right-handed from Parker Mountain Machine. And so I put this one back here and it blends in beautifully. And then what I did up here is I put a Parker Mountain Machine bolt release cover here. So what you have to do is you have to take off this lower, which is easy to do. You just push this pin forward here and then snap out the bottom. And then you have to install this with it off the gun. But you can have it mounted forward or backward. I put it forward because I want my thumb to be able to reach it. But you could put it backward if you wanted to. So it'd be a third further back versus, or you can put it in the center or you can put it in the front. So there's 3 different options for mounting that. I did a forward mount, so you can kind of see how it's a little bit forward. There's your belt, you know, your bolt release there. You can see how it's a little bit forward of the bolt release there. And again, Parker Mountain Machine mounts really nicely. Love their products. I really love their products. I put them on both my scars. They're that nice. Really nice machined aluminum. You know, T10 Torx closure. And on this one, you've already got ambidextrous, you know, bolt release here. You got the ambidextrous. I like these safeties, so I don't bother. You can change them out. Parker Mountain Machine makes these that you can change out to aluminum ones. They kind of look like a banjo. I think they call them banjo style. And then you can snap it, you know, with different textures on the thing. I like these stock ones, so I'm not going to change out the stock ones. I like a longer one on this side, and I like a thinner one and a shorter one on this side because I always take the safety off with my thumb and I always put it back on with my shooting index finger on this side. So because that way my finger's always out of the trigger guard. So did that. And I put on this MDT grip, the MDT vertical grip. I like it. You know, it's a big fat grip. You know, it is. You know, if you got smaller hands, this may not be the grip for you. But I like it because it is big and fat. And I can get my hand around there and it's super comfortable, and I like the vertical mount on this. Now the nice thing about these is, yes, you can mount them, you can slide it forward or backward, and you can angle it. That's why these are $100. That's why they're not cheap. But like I said, you could slide this forward or backward vertical, and you could leave it here and angle it. You could slide it back and angle it. You can do whatever you want to do. I like it vertical, and I like it just the way it is there. So for me, you know, this is great. It's just so nice from a prone position or a standing position. I love shooting with this vertical grip. I love these grips. So what I always do is, like I said, I always take off the safety this way. I always put it back on this way because that way my thumb and finger's always out of the trigger guard when I'm popping it back on. That's just habit. That's just me. You all do what you want to do, but that's just what I do. And then in the front here, I put this angled grip from Magpul. They make 2 versions. They're updated versions, an inch shorter which does not work with my gigantic meat hooks. So for me, with the bigger hands, I had to go with their older version, which is an inch longer. So it gives me a little more space up here to put my hand. But you could get either version. I like the angled grip. I like shooting from that position. I did not put a grip pod on this one like I did my other one. I do have room up here if I wanted to put a bipod. I might throw an old, I've got an Atlas bipod that I might just throw in the case with it. The other thing I want to do too on this is I'm going to put a Surefire, one of their new Scout lights up here. I'm going to get their Scout turbo light that goes out to 650 meters. I'm going to put that on this side. And I'll be able to operate with my thumb right from here. So, you know, if I have a light up here, I can be here just like this, and I can just click it off and on with my thumb right here. I won't need a pressure pad or anything. This gun I also might make into an 11-inch barrel. I'll have to see. The 11-inch barrel would stop basically right here, and then I'd move this, obviously move that back to here, and then I'd put a suppressor on it here. Since the ATF takes about 3 weeks to approve those, the problem is the barrel assembly that you have to buy is very expensive. So I'm not going to do that for a while, if I even do it at all. But if I do, this would be the gun to do it for. I mean, I think it'd be nice to have a short barrel suppressed, you know, 11-inch short barrel suppressed pretty much all the time, almost CQB gun. Because this thing is so light. I mean, that's the nice thing about it. It's so light. Again, the problem here is this trigger, the out-of-the-box trigger is ridiculous. I mean, it's creak, it's crap. I don't understand how they do that, but Geisel trigger is definitely on my list of ordering. Might order that this summer. Get the Geisel trigger upgraded. The Geisel trigger upgrade is just incredible. It is so much better. And I wish they would put the Geisel trigger in these from the factory, but they don't. But I'll get that trigger in for sure, because again, it's such a nice upgrade. But that's what I did. So this is the gun that this is the 16S, and on my 17S I put a flat dark earth one of these on. This one I used a black one. But again, I'll put in the description all of the stuff that I got and from which companies, so that everybody can tell where I got it from. But all right, thanks again for watching Doc G's Reloading. Let me know if you have any questions.